Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook, bring you our 2014 NFL team preview for the Detroit Lions. We're going to take a look at their offense, their defense, as well as their special teams. So let's start on the offensive side of the football with the quarterback position.
Matthew Stafford has thrown for over 17,000 yards, 109 touchdowns, and has led 12 game-winning drives in his career. But ability has never been the issue with Stafford, more so than his game-to-game consistency has. The Lions need him to flatline his consistency in order to move forward. Stafford's inconsistent accuracy has also led to bad play and game-clinching interceptions. This is a pivotal year for the 6-year vet out of Georgia to show better game management skills and better grasp of situational football in order for this organization to feel more comfortable with him moving forward. Backing him up is Kellen Moore, a 3-year vet out of Boise State, who, in my opinion, has the best accuracy and situational football awareness that you want in a quarterback, but he'll never get that opportunity to showcase that in Detroit. He'll have to fend off free agent signee Dan Orlovsky for that number 2 job. The Lions have an excellent 1-2 punch in the backfield with Reggie Bush and Joique Bell, both combined for over 1,600 yards and 12 touchdowns last season. Bush is and has always been a multifaceted weapon over the course of his career, so his receiving numbers last year, which were 54 receptions for 506 yards, are not a surprise. But it was Bell who showed tremendous versatility last season, catching 53 passes for 547 yards. That type of production will make any offense go, and I'd expect that level of production to continue. Second-year back Theo Riddick is also expected to contribute more in a situational role and on special teams, and the wild card in this mix is Mikael LaShore, who showed a lot of promise in 2012 but was lost in the shuffle last year. Whether that's still the case or not is yet to be seen. The Lions have arguably the best receiver in the game with Calvin Johnson, who last year nearly went over 1,500 yards at 17.8 yards a catch and 12 touchdowns. Johnson is going to dominate regardless, but the focus has been since 2008 to get some receiver help around him to make his job that much easier. The Lions feel as though they've accomplished that by adding Golden Tate in free agency. Tate comes over from the Seattle Seahawks, where he has gotten better each and every year, with last season being his best, catching 64 passes for 898 yards. If his trend continues, it'll be a big-time help for the Lions' passing game as a whole. Ryan Broyles, who's extremely talented but can't stay healthy, and Chris Durham, who has great size but was inconsistent, also factor in the mix. Keep an eye on rookie 6th-round pick TJ Jones out of Notre Dame, who's a solid route runner and has dependable hands. He might be the dark horse candidate to win that number 3 job. The tight end position is where the Lions are going to give defenses problems all season long. They re-signed Brandon Pettigrew, who in my opinion is solid on both ends of offense. He's a starter, so that's already set. Joseph Fourier was a touchdown maker last year as an undrafted free agent, catching 7 touchdowns on only 18 receptions. And in the draft, they selected Eric Ebron out of North Carolina, who is one of the best tight ends in the country. Now, Ebron is the most athletic out of the group and will be consistently on the move with this new offense. And with talent here, look for more double tight end and triple tight end sets from the Lions like we've seen before, but this year it'll be even more potent with the addition of Ebron. The Lions are building a pretty solid young offensive line with guys like offensive tackle Riley Reif and offensive guard Larry Walford, and 2014 third-round pick center Travis Swanson, but there's still some work to be done. Overall, as a unit, this was a very solid offensive line last year, as they did well in the running game while keeping Matt Stafford well protected, as he was only sacked 23 times last year, which was second in the National Football League. Both Rob Sims and Dominic Raiola are on the back end of their time in Detroit. Raiola is coming off his best season, while Sims struggled to stay healthy. And I would keep an eye on second-year player Rodney Austin as a guy that could slowly take over for Sims this year. Former tight end Michael Williams has made the move to offensive tackle. His athleticism helps him out in pass pro, as he was already a very good run blocker coming out of Alabama. And I also like the addition of undrafted rookie free agent Cornelius Lucas out of Kansas State, a mammoth tackle that can play on either side. In my opinion, this is the best unit on the defensive side of the ball. The Lions were stout against the run last year, only giving up 99 yards a game, which was 6th in the league. What the staff wants to see is that sack number increase. Defensive tackles Ndamukong Suh and also Nick Fairley are as solid of a duo as there are in the league. Contrary to popular belief, Suh is one of the best defensive tackles in the game. Fairley was second on the team in sacks with 6, and both guys are in the last year of their deals, so look for the best this season out of them up front. Andre Fluellen and C.J. Mosley are two dependable vets backing up on the interior, but I like 5th round pick Karan Reed out of Princeton to have an impact this season in rotation. Reed played every technique possible up front for the Tigers and should provide versatility up front for the Lions. On the edges, the Lions welcome back Jason Jones from injury, and he's slated to start, and they sorely missed him last year after going down in the 3rd game. Second-year player Ziggy Ansah led the team in sacks with 8 and looks to be 100% healthy. Consistency will be the key for him this year. There's good athleticism in reserves Devin Taylor out of South Carolina and rookie defensive end Larry Webster from Bloomsburg. Taylor had 2.5 sacks in limited action last year, while Webster is a former basketball player that shows good closing speed to the quarterback and had an excellent week down at the East-West Shrine game. Veteran Darryl Tapp, defensive end, also figures to be involved as well because he's solid versus the run. The Lions got excellent play from the second level of their defense last year. Linebackers DeAndre Levy and Stephen Tulloch played some good ball on both ends. Levy excelled even more so in the passing game, intercepting 6 passes, in addition to being second on the team in tackles with 118, while Mike backer Stephen Tulloch led the team in tackles with 135. Both were a big reason for the Lions finishing 6th in run defense. Outside linebacker Ashley Palmer played okay, but an upgrade was definitely needed, which is why the Lions drafted BYU's Kyle Van Noy in the 2nd round. Van Noy was either always around the football or always with the ball in his hands at BYU. The 6'3", 245-pound backer has a knack for making game-changing plays and is likely to start as a rookie. Depth is a major concern here, as a couple of players are either returning from injury or strictly special teamers. The Lions are going young at cornerback with Bill Bentley and Darius Slay. Bentley has been up and down as a nickelback and now has to make the jump in consistency to handle the outside. Slay was a rookie last year who went through your typical rookie season showing flashes of what he can be. This has to be a question coming into the season, and it wouldn't surprise me at some point in time during the year to see Rasheem Mathis start at corner. The Lions selected Nevin Lawson out of Utah State in the 4th round, who's a very good press corner but will more than likely be relegated to slot duties. And it's time for both Jonte Green and Chris Greenwood to make strides. Otherwise, both Aaron Hesser, who I think is an excellent football player, and free agent veteran Cassius Vaughn could take these roster spots. Free agent James Ahedebo was signed to complement free safety Glover Quinn, giving Detroit 2 traditional strong and free safeties. Combo safety Don Carey provides depth, as well as former Saints safety Issa Abdul-Kadus. Safety has much fewer questions than cornerback does for the Detroit Lions. It looks like rookie Nate Freeze out of Boston College will get the nod at kicker. Freeze was an All-American at BC who bombed a 53-yarder versus Maryland last year. The Lions hope he has the same rookie success as punter Sam Martin did. Martin averaged an impressive 47 yards a punt with very good directional skills. The return game is also in good hands with Jeremy Ross, who returned both a kickoff and a punt for a touchdown, averaging 29 yards per kickoff return and 16.3 yards per punt return. The Lions have enough talent to compete with any team in the league. They've added and upgraded the athleticism with this year's draft class, and new head coach Jim Caldwell is a proven winner that has already led a team to the Super Bowl, so he is the right guy for the job and gives the fans of the Detroit Lions a reason for optimism. The cause for concern for me would be the madly inconsistent Matt Stafford and the secondary. Both have to consistently play well in order for Detroit to break through this year. The road to the Super Bowl for the Lions goes as follows. Number 1, the passing game has to become diversified. They have to get other targets involved in this offense to make life easier for Calvin Johnson, so that way he can find himself in more one-on-one opportunities. There's Eric Ebron now in the passing game. There's Golden Tate. Get those other guys involved and make life much easier for yourself as a quarterback and also for the offense as a whole. And the defensive line has to be able to help out the back end. They have to get the pressure up. They have to be able to consistently get to the quarterback in order for those guys in the secondary to get acclimated to the new scheme and also not be put in bad situations. And now is the time for Matthew Stafford to make veteran decisions with the football, manage the game better, and if he can do these things this season, Detroit can find themselves in Glendale, Arizona. I have the Lions finishing 4th in the NFC North. They're a very talented football team, but still, in my opinion, have a little bit more to do in order to get over the hump. What they can rely on this year is being able to both run the football and stop the run. Both will keep them in ball games and perhaps win them a few, but if Stafford can play better situationally, they could be in the mix for a wild card berth. And don't forget to order your copy of Football Game Plan's latest book, Stiff Arming Football Myths, an excellent book that you can find on our website at footballgameplan.com/books, available in both PDF as well as paperback form. And I also want to give a huge shout out to Lion Fan Forums for always showing Football Game Plan support.